Well, that's about 30 k's, so I guess it's time for a story. Have you heard of a thing in physics called resonant frequency? It's I guess the most popular examples of it are when an opera singer reaches a note and smashes a glass. That's one. Another one is another popular one is when soldiers march in step across a bridge and the bridge collapses. You know, these two things are examples of resonant frequency. What happens is that the frequency of the voice, or the soldier's step frequency, matches the resonant frequency of the object, the glass or the bridge. And then what happens is when that match of frequency happens, then a vibration sets up, and it increases to such a point that it breaks the bonds in the object, and it shatters, breaks. So I like to think of it as breaking the tension. And yeah, it's funny because when my grandchildren, first arrived, baby Jamie and baby Lucas, and if I was trying to put them to sleep, I'd tell my kids that as I was tapping them or rocking them, that I was just trying to find their resonant frequency, and in doing so I would break the tension, the crying would stop, and Jamie or Lucas would go to sleep. And so it's all a bit of fun, but how does that apply to endurance running? And does it? And I think the answer is that it does, because as I run along, often running coaches and books talk about steady state running and getting into a pace which is a steady state. But I like to think of resonant frequency, and what I mean by that is, if I'm running along, I can generally feel in my body, I can feel a tension. I can feel it in my legs, in the perimeters, the outer parts of my legs. I can feel it in my arms and in my hands. Often I'm gripping, in my hands. And certainly I can feel the tension in my shoulders and in my face and eyes. So, what I've learned to do, what I've been trying to do more of, is to get to my resonant frequency while I'm running, and break that tension and be able to relax, so that tension disappears and I can feel myself in a much more relaxed state. And I think the point is that I think with tension, I think there's a tax that comes with tension, so that over time there's a fair cost. So if I can get into my resonant frequency, break that tension and relax, then I think it's beneficial on a long run. Now, of course, you can't do it all the time. If you're on a particularly technical piece of terrain, and it's going to need your focus and attention and your tension, you probably need to be in a more of a heightened state. But there should be opportunities where there's not a lot going on, where you can really try and get that resonant frequency and turn the tension off and relax. And the thing is, endurance running is a metaphor for life, really. And so my question is, where else can we find that? And the trick is not to just be finding our points of relaxation sitting on the couch. The trick is to actually be able to find that relaxation while we're in the moment, while we're doing what we're doing. De-stress, relax, find that resonant frequency. So anyway, that's my little story for today about resonant frequency. And next time maybe you're putting the baby to sleep, try and find their resonant frequency. Give them a tap, just see if you can work it out. And through all that, just keep going.